All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Links to Learning. Hope your Tuesday afternoon, your Tuesday is going well for you. I hope you got outside, make the most of this good weather while we have it. So I'm joining from Amisquachiwa Sky again. My name is Michelle. Honored to be here. Here in Edmonton, it's beautiful fall day, but we know that it's not going to be, this chill fall weather for long. So we got to make the most of it. So I hope wherever you are, you have a beautiful day outside, that the sun is shining. If not, figuratively, metaphorically in your world, you find some sunshine somewhere. We just want to take a moment also to acknowledge the great gifts Creator has given to all of us, that we're surrounded by love, we're surrounded by goodness, that's seen in the land, that's seen in the animals as they're beginning to change and get ready for another season, that's seen in the sacred waters. So we give thanks for all of the gifts. And then of course, our circle of family and chosen family, that we are surrounded by goodness and love, and all because of Creator. So we give thanks for all of these gifts. And we are thankful for this opportunity that we can gather together as a virtual family, a virtual community, and just build on our capacity. And that's what Can Do Links to Learning is all about, just taking in the knowledge, growing, evolving, and just building on what we already have. So today we're going to take in some good education around the Alberta forestry. So it's an industry of growth. So we're excited that Morgan and yes, Forrest is here to share with us, what's going on, what they're doing, giving us some education. Forestry is a woven right into the social and economic fabric of our province. It is one of Alberta's oldest industries and one of its most innovative. So today's webinar will cover the importance of the forest industry here in our province. So furthermore, it will focus on how Work Wild is connecting and educating Albertans about opportunities in the forestry field. So you will learn the importance of sustainability in forestry and gain an understanding of the diverse career paths that do exist. That's exciting. I know I, for one, have a nephew who would be so interested in this conversation and in this topic. So let's hear a little bit about our speakers today. One is Forrest. He's been working with students and career seekers for over 8 years. He holds a degree in both environmental studies and education, and his background provides him with a unique skill set in the role of forestry educator with the Alberta Forest Products Association. Forrest uses a relational approach to inspire and educate individuals about sustainable forest practices and unique vocational opportunities that exist in Alberta's forest industry. So he resides in Edmonton, Alberta, and enjoys fishing and hiking in the Eastern Slope. So we look forward to hearing more about that, Forrest. And also we have Morgan here, Morgan Pike is a forestry educator for Work Wild, responsible for strategic planning for the program, brand management, and delivering forestry presentations to youth and career seekers across Alberta, which is so important. So we thank you for your role. In addition to her role, she works with the Alberta Forest Products Association on other awareness and educational campaigns. All right, well, so welcome to the table today, Morgan and Forrest. We look forward to being educated a little bit more on this industry about forestry. So that I'm going to pass this virtual mic over to you. Anybody who has questions along the way, use that chat box, use those reaction buttons if you like what you're hearing. There will be opportunity for you to ask any questions or maybe lend a story of your own at the end of the presentation. All right, I'm passing the mic off to you folks.
Right on. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate that. So good afternoon, everybody. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge and respectfully acknowledge that we are situated on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. So we're so thankful to be here. Thank you for having us, Can Do. So yeah, my name is Forrest and my colleague Morgan. Wonderful introduction again. Thank you for that. That was amazing. And we're here to talk about our initiative today. We're here to talk about the Work Wild program and why youth should call forestry, the forest industry, their career. So let's jump right into it. Let's get started. And we're going to talk a little bit about what Work Wild is and what we do as forestry educators. So Work Wild, first and foremost, is an educational initiative that allows us to travel around the province and through Alberta and connect with youth and job seekers and career practitioners about the broad range of career opportunities in the forest sector. So prior to the Work Wild initiative, there was a lot of misconceptions about forestry. It was the idea that it was low tech, that it was low paying, and it was more of a sunset industry, and those weren't true. So we're here to kind of change the narrative and kind of bring students in on that dialogue around forestry and let them in on those things. So forestry isn't about lumberjacks heading into the forest. It's an innovative and it's ever changing. And we hope that through our program, we can begin informing Albertans and youth about the opportunities that are available to them. So of course, it is a huge job and we can't do that alone. So we work in a team.
Yeah, so we work in a team. So to ensure we are reaching as many youth and career seekers as possible, Work Wild has partnered up with 2 other programs called Inside Education and Careers. So together we create the Forestry Futures Alliance. So I wanted to speak to a little bit to each program as well as why we work together so well. So careers. So Careers focuses on working with Alberta schools to connect students to employers for paid internships and apprenticeships to gain experience in the field. So they also help them get high school credits, as well as they're really helping youth test drive a career and see if it's for them and kind of steer them on the right path. Of course, this is a little bit more based on the trade sides of things. So they work to inform also the crossover between this trades and forestry. So you can have trades and you can be in forestry and kind of have that crossover. So that's kind of what they do. Whereas Inside Education typically educates a little bit of a younger audience. So they kind of target the before grade 6. And what they do is they teach them about the forest as a whole, forest industry, and kind of get that stage set for their future learnings and maybe kind of plant the seed early on that this would be an awesome career for them down the road. Typically, they will take folks out to demonstration forests and they'll kind of teach them about what a day in the life of a professional forestry professional can do. And then Work Wild kind of fills in those blanks. So we're a little bit more of a flexible, but versatile program. So we engage with people from grade 6, sometimes younger, all the way to mature career seekers who are looking to take their skill set and maybe apply it somewhere else. Maybe they're looking to make a change of scenery. So our mission really, what it boils down to is attracting fresh faces to our sector while educating a little bit about the fascinating world of forestry. So together, all 3 of us reach that really large scope of people, different demographics, ages, interests, and we do that in many ways. So a couple of ways are forestry presentations.
Yeah, so we're in classrooms a lot of the time, and so we're talking to students, and a lot of our programming aligns with the Alberta curriculum. So whether that's the grade 6 trees and forests, or that's CTS or CALM, we build relationships with teachers, with larger schools and communities and administrators, and we're in the classroom chatting with kids. But also we are we're in we go to demonstration forests sometimes, so that's also in the scope of what we do. So we are also at events and conferences. So we will sometimes be at career fairs, and here's a picture at the bottom here. We have at the career fair, we like to set up our harvesting simulator, and so we chat with kids and they get to try that out. It's pretty fun. And we're at demonstration forests again, and in the classrooms, and just really getting to know people and finding out and sharing about what we do.
I cannot do that harvesting simulator for the life of me. And all these kids and younger students come in and they can do it right away. So I'm a little bit jealous, but yeah, it's super fun going in and engaging with a whole bunch of variety of people. So engaging and supporting youth on their educational journey is at the heart of everything we do at Work Wild. So one of the really big things that we do is we're directing students to educational programs, enriching areas. So these are a few of the partnerships and I guess programs we like to promote with students to get them kind of starting to think about those things, working in forestry, as well as just kind of broadening their skill set, even if they're not interested in forestry. So kind of getting those going as well. So I want to introduce a couple of them, which is Outland Youth Employment Program and the Junior Forest Rangers. I want to shed a little bit of light on them and kind of thank them for what they're doing because they're awesome. So I'm going to play 2 videos here explaining what those are.
Being at the camp definitely taught me how to make new friends. Go from complete strangers to talking every day, going to them about our problems. Definitely got me out of my comfort zone. Never thought I'd be outgoing in front of a bunch of strangers, but here I am.
Look at this. It's beautiful out here. So what I miss the most? Just pretty much all the good people around here.
Me to be more independent and that there's a lot of opportunities out there for me to learn and experience. And what I experienced was tree planting is hard, but it's really fun and I really enjoy it. And I get to plant things and planting trees and giving back to the earth, which is the best thing I have ever done in my entire life.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, I love that. I love the program and they're really nationwide as well. So they're kind of going all over the place. I love the fact that this is nationwide. Yeah, and they're really helping kind of dip the toe in a lot of different things for students, whether that's just socialization, whether that's just getting them out of their comfort zone. It's a really great program, even despite just the focus on kind of industry based. I think it's a great program and a lot of youth should consider taking that as well. So kind of in a similar vein, there's another awesome program called the Junior Forest Rangers. This one is an Alberta-based one, but it is a super awesome opportunity, and there are lots of these kind of programs throughout the nation. So This program is a incredible summer opportunity, a summer employment opportunity for high school students in Alberta, as well as a post-secondary, an opportunity for post-secondary environmental graduates or students to help be a mentor towards younger students and youth. And interestingly enough, Forrest actually did do this program as a team lead. So I'll let him speak to his experience.
Yeah, so JFR program is just amazing, and I worked throughout my environmental degree. I worked as a crew leader in both in Grand Prairie and Hinton with youth, and it's just an amazing program because students get to try different careers, and they get vocational exposure while at the same time getting paid and living remotely with people from all over the province. So it's just it's a really unique program. So this is something that we encourage those that visit our booths and that we talk to students in classrooms to try and apply for. And we're going to show the video here, and you'll get a better sense of what it's all about.
Expectations, I'd say. Yeah, definitely had a memorable one.
I found it at a career expo 2 years ago, and I've been waiting. I've just been itching to come out to JFR. It's been amazing. There's been plenty of experience, and I've met some amazing people. You got to work on some amazing different skills.
It's all about like the outdoor thing, so always working outside, working with like your crewmates, and like just the aspect of like being together as a family. I was really interested in that, and I didn't regret it.
No problems. I had a great summer. It was a lot of character building, a lot of good work though. I have no complaints about any of the work at all, and lots of learning opportunities.
They're good. It's been a great, we work together, teamwork. Let's make that dream work, I also like going on the helicopter ride too. That was fun. It's my first time actually in the air, so that was very good.
Kind of the idea that we were gone all summer, and we were taken care of, but we got to learn new things and we got to be outside. It was just everything that I really wanted.
anyone wants to learn a little bit more about it, there is that website there. You can always go to and learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, so both of those programs are amazing opportunity for both all of these students and interested folk to explore forestry. Even for people that aren't interested in forestry, this is an awesome opportunity to explore just as skill set as well. And those who are interested in forestry, those younger youth that are kind of working their way into it, it allows them to begin creating those connections with this really tight-knit community that forestry has, as well as they could be meeting their future bosses, colleagues, and they're also just making friends along the way, right? So it's awesome. And I highly suggest looking into programs for any youth that you guys know, or maybe yourself wanting to kind of learn more about that. So next up, kind of the bulk of the presentation here is I want to talk a little bit about the career opportunities. We keep saying it, but everyone's like, what the heck? What opportunities do you have, right? So our recent studies show that the forest industry employs about 30,000 individuals across the province. So within those 30,000 jobs, there are many that are tied to forestry that you might not even think are, like my job, for example, forest job, for example. Lots of us, there's a variety. There's a lot of people that keep us afloat. So from boots on the ground, surveying land and studying wildlife, to running large equipment. Maybe you're in the office auditing, maybe you're out and about and doing lots of other, like, I guess, networking and teaching, right? So lots of things. So there's a place for everyone in our industry. And I hope after today, maybe there's some opportunity for you to be interested, as well as share with youth as well. So there are many opportunities and lines of work, and hopefully you learned something new today. So we're going to hop right in and do outdoors, which is kind of the bulk of our industry.
Right on. Yes. So there's a large swath of outdoor careers, and some of the more specialized. And we look at people that work with bugs. You got our entomologists, our pathologists that are looking at tree disease, and hydrologists studying water, or our foresters that are out there doing site assessments, forestry technicians, wildlife biologists that are working with the wildlife, the vast wildlife that exists in our forest. And also there's lots of seasonal jobs, tree planters being one of them. These sustain people for the months that they work, and it's a meaningful line of work for many people that do it.
So next up, we have production. So this one's a little bit less known, and these are our really high in demand jobs, which makes it really popular for people who are looking to jumpstart a career and begin making decent money right off the hop. It's really accessible for them to get into these careers. A lot of the times it's high school diploma and maybe a license involved, but other than that, it's very accessible for people to start making money and maybe just start saving for a different line of work and going to school. So lots of opportunity there. So high in demand, number one is the equipment operation and transportation. So not a lot of people coming into that area. So always recruiting for that, and companies are always hoping to attract more faces to that. Another area is product testing. So maybe you're interested in science and you want to work in a mill and kind of test some of the production line stuff. So a lot of the times these people are just pulling some product off the manufacturing line and going into their little lab in the mill and testing it out for quality assurance and making sure everyone's getting quality products. And last on the list is mill production. So creating those products such as pulp, laminated veneer lumber is always the tongue twister, and oriented strand board lumber as well, all of those products. So just getting that going, and there's lots of people involved in that process as well. And the next section I've already talked to a little bit. So this is the trades. So because not a lot of people know that trades do cross over with forestry and that we're always looking for these people, it is also second in demand. So the jobs on the screen here are some of the trade positions that are needed in our industry, but there are so many more. And as I mentioned before, careers does have that kind of apprenticeship area. So they actually have a program called the Registered Apprenticeship Program, which helps youth kind of get into those roles right away. And that's a lot of the time they're teaming up with forestry companies to get them in welding in a mill and start working their way into a job, a full-time job and a full-time career. So kind of as I mentioned before there. And next up on the list is I've alluded to office jobs, which a lot of people really don't know about. So sales and marketing, communications, kind of like myself, I do a lot of the social media for Work Wild. Kind of thinking about how we're going to attract youth is a big thing for me. So that's something people don't really know about. Administration, all of our mills need people administrating and doing all that, answering phones, doing all those fun things. And this one's a little bit of a different one, but this is a geographic information system analysis. That's a long title, but what they do is they're going to survey the land and work with foresters and outdoors people to really learn how to navigate this area. There's lots of areas that foresters can't get to. So a lot of times they're going to be using innovation to make drones go out and kind of survey all of that. So they have a really cool job, but it is mainly in the office. But most of these jobs kind of you get to do both, which is quite nice as well.
Okay. So a lot of the times we talk about careers in forestry, but also people that are looking for careers in forestry are also looking for a little bit of an idea of the lifestyle of forestry as well. So I have a video here today that I'd like to share that kind of highlights the little bit of the lifestyle and then also touches on some careers as well that we do in forestry.
It's not like the old days. Back when your dad would comb his mustache, pack a bologna sandwich, and head off to a job he never really liked. The same thing day in and day out for 40 years. You have options. Today, you can work wild. Welcome to the modern world of forestry. Out here, your commute looks a little different. Your desk is wherever you want it to be. When you work wild, you could spend your days playing with technology, extracting chemicals from fiber, or virtually mapping forests. You could be operating equipment that's larger than life, or helping deliver products around the world. Your coworkers could have dorsal fins. You could be deep in the forest, or in the middle of a city. That's life in a forest company, and there are plenty of interesting jobs waiting for you. But working in forestry isn't just another job. It gives you the chance to say you're making a difference and mean it. Forests are a renewable resource that help reduce the impacts of climate change. Even if you're not working in the forest, you're still helping grow a greener future. It's not just about cutting down trees. You're keeping forests, animals, and people healthy. How's that for doing your part? Another great part of working in forestry: when the job's over, the fun is in your backyard. In forestry, you're surrounded by people who love the outdoors. You'll also balance work and play better than anybody. So if you're a tradesperson, an accountant, a planter, if you're into cutting-edge technology, or just plain cutting, it sounds like you're ready to work wild. Come on, what are you waiting for?
So again, yeah, it's about the job, but it's also about the lifestyle too. There's such a community in forestry, and we're going to talk about that next. So why would you want to choose forestry? Well, again, to piggyback off that last video, it's not a job, it's a passion, it's a lifestyle, and it's a community-based adventure. And so we want to also just show this quick little video here of somebody that works in the forest and what they think about it.
I love Alberta's forests because to me, they are where I feel at home. It's not a job, it's a passion and it's a lifestyle. We want to make sure that we're always going to have a forest.
So we got to hear Tracy's story there, and she says it's a passion, it's a lifestyle. She also talks about nurturing the forest too, something that she deeply cares about, and it's also something that's at the heart of kind of what we do as well. So when we chat with kids in classrooms and we talk to kids, it's really encouraging to see that students and job seekers are attentive to sustainability and understanding the impact on the land. We can say with confidence that forestry is a leading sustainable industry. And in Alberta, it begins with our 200-year plan. So before a single tree is cut, forestry companies prepare a 200-year plan and get the plan approved by the government of Alberta. And a 200-year plan takes about 6 years to prepare, and it's reevaluated about every 10 years. And the plan starts with a full environmental assessment of the area, including water sources, wildlife habitats, tree species, ages and quantities, soil quality, and other important considerations. And so there's lots of involvement between different communities, but this is really the backbone of our sustainable approach to forestry. And it's really attractive to those that are looking to work in an industry that makes an impact, a positive impact. But that also leads into a bit about the innovation of the industry as well. Being sustainable, the innovation is top notch. It is always moving forward, and that we want to use the most of our products, and we want to be great stewards of our resources. So I just want to highlight this this story right here. We look at West Fraser's lignin production. Lignin is a byproduct of a tree. And so they found ways to harvest this, use this lignin in the process, and use it for packaging and biochemical applications for adhesives and some of the wood products. So they're using all the wood, and they're using that innovation to use as much as they can and be good stewards of the resources. So, and the innovation also, there's applications such as we're using drones in the field, high-tech machinery. So it's a pretty sharp industry.
Just to add to that one there, a lot of the times in tours with mills, there's AI that is analyzing wood to make sure it's like proper. And so when we have our product control people as well, we have people double checking it, and it's really crazy to see that kind of advanced machinery in your industry, especially for somebody like me just coming into the industry. I was like, holy crap, this is innovative. So it's definitely something that I learned along the way as well. So next I want to talk about opportunity. So we've learned through a lot of statistics that half of the forest industry will be retiring soon. So in the next 10 years, we're going to be seeing a whole bunch of people leaving. That's why we're here, to kind of get these fresh faces kind of coming in and getting excited about maybe bringing their skill set to such an awesome industry. So right now there's a huge labor shortage, which means it's bad for us, but it's awesome for people interested in making a change and starting a career in our industry. Lots of opportunity there. And it's also, we are passionate about being able to provide an adequate living for young youth people kind of growing up and getting into that industry. So 25-year-old and under, typically their annual compensation from forestry career is over $62,000. So it's a huge salary to begin and right off the hop as well. So we take pride in that, and we're happy that we hope that helps bring a lot more people in as well. So yeah, lots of opportunity.
So we want to just conclude this presentation by sharing some of the resources that WorkWild provides to those that use our website. And after teachers that use our website, people that access our website, we have a full list of scholarship postings on our website for those looking to begin their education in the forestry field, along with an active job board that highlights ongoing jobs in forestry throughout the province. This is an active list. We update it every week. So there are always jobs being posted on there. It's a huge, it's a great resource. It's a big resource. So, and along with that, we've developed curriculum toolkits for teachers that are looking to bring forestry into their classroom. They can use those online toolkits. Super awesome. And they can also contact me if they want a presentation or come and speak to their class. So we provide that for teachers. But we also have career quizzes. So if you're kind of unsure what you want to do or where you think you fit in, there's a career quiz on the site. So you can try that out. And there's lots of educational videos. And yeah, so But in closing, we would just like to say thank you so much for having us, and it's really been an honor to come speak to your audience. And if there's any other questions, you can contact us at WorkWild, or find us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, all those applications, and we would love to answer your questions or provide more information if you have any, if you would like to any more information.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for educating us a little bit about the forest industry. I particularly loved the videos, and I love those 2 programs that you have for the young people. Like, I love, I think it's really important to bring in the young people, to educate them, to create opportunity, but also connect them to the land. I just loved that when that young girl in one of the videos said, she just loved planting a tree, and you could just tell by the smile on her face. And so that connection is really, really important. So thanks so much for sharing, for being here, for lending your time and letting us know what's going on in that forest industry. And it sounds like it's an industry that's growing, that has room for people to enter. So that's exciting to hear. So we're going to open up the floor to anybody who has any questions. Come on in. You can unmute yourself. You can use the chat box. I know Zen put a little comment in the chat box about greenhouses, I believe.
Right on. Yeah, forestry greenhouses. That's what I would know. Ferguson Forest in Kemptville, Ontario. Right on. Yeah, there are people in silviculture that are making these awesome saplings to plant in our forests. So it's pretty cool. They're doing some awesome things and providing some really quality trees for us to replant.
That's awesome. Did I see in one of those pictures, it was early on, I think it had to do with one of the youth programs, but there was, do you guys like teach how to, like, this is such a silly question. Pardon my ignorance. Was that like a syrup tap? Like, or what was that? And then with the tree, and then there was a little thing with that tree. What was that?
I think that was an increment bore. So students, when they're on the field, they get to do the dendrochronology, the study of a tree's age. And so instead of being able to, count all those rings by cutting down the tree, they can use an increment bore and bore inside the tree and get a little core out that has that information on it about the tree's life. So yeah, that's a favorite for sure.
That's cool. The lessons that the land teaches us. Hey, beautiful. That's cool. Okay, anybody questions? Bring them. Oh, here we go. In the chat box, are you able to provide information on the nursery situation in Alberta? Are seedlings easily accessible?
That's a good question. From my knowledge, it's a little bit harder for some companies to get seedlings, but Forrest, do you know anything about that situation either?
Yeah, so some of the commercial nurseries that work for supplying the forestry companies, they grow a certain amount, and it's just strictly to those replanting trees, and that's certain. Maybe that strain for a certain area in Alberta, whereas in maybe there's nurseries. Local nurseries that would provide other strains for the city. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Some of the we don't specifically work with any specific nursery, but yeah, maybe something that we could maybe provide you more information on later. But yeah.
Well, we appreciate.
That's not a problem. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. It's Margarita, and I work for Natural Resources Canada. And my question was related to that because we promote the 2 billion tree program, and there's a lot of trees that we're looking to plant in the next 10 years. And so it is a program that is open to everyone. There's eligibility that needs to be met, of course, but it is across Canada. So I understand that the nursery situation in different provinces is not necessarily great because, of course, there's a supply and demand sort of need that needs to be sorted out. So I just wondered if you guys had any information on nurseries and accessibility to seedlings. But yeah, it was more of a high level sort of question. So thanks.
Thanks, Margarita.
Thank you.
And that your website is right there, workwild.ca. So be sure to, check them out, see what they're all about. And also I'm gonna assume that there is an email or a contact in case anybody has any questions on your website.
For sure, yeah. So there is information area on the website for you to email us with your questions, and we'll get back to you very quickly. I will.
That's awesome.
Even our social media as well. Yeah. Feel free to send a DM, private message on any of those. Feel free to just stalk us too.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon at Can-Do's Links to Learning. It's exciting. Who knew on a Tuesday afternoon I would get excited about the forest industry, but here we are. So thank you for your really great presentation and educating us a little bit about this industry. That's incredible. Thank you. So thanks to everybody else for joining us, unless there's one last question out there. But we trust that you will have a great rest of the afternoon. Make sure you drink plenty of water, because water is life, one of Creator's best gifts to us. Take some time to connect to the amazing outdoors, to this land, to this beautiful Mother Earth, and also connect to your spirit always. So have a great rest of the afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you again. And thank you again to our guest speakers. We honor you. So hi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.